Well, for better or worse, I bought a project boat.
All right, here she is. We're gonna call her the Lee Hawk, or SV Lee Hawk, because it's a Cheoy Lee. So Lee, the lee of the island, is the calmer side. So you always want to be in the lee. And Hawk, because there's little hawks cut into the cabinetry of the boat. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, but super excited. This place needs to be emptied and kind of just inventoried, cleaned. Just gonna have to bring this back to life.
In the end, we ended up negotiating the price of the boat. Well, we had him comp the first month of the mooring ball fee. So all in, we bought the boat for $1,640. So that's my basement. That's where I'm starting from. And it remains to be seen how much we'll invest into this boat to get it to a place that we feel comfortable with. But considering that at the time we bought this boat, the only other Cheoy Lee 1970 36-foot looters that were available on Boat Trader were selling for between 25 and 37K, I believe, were the two that we saw, both in different states of repair. But the idea being that the ceiling between like what we would have had to pay for a boat versus what we spent is still pretty far. We can put quite a bit of money into this boat along the way without feeling like we're over investing in an old boat. We could have bought one of those old boats starting at 25K and still had to put in a bunch of money. So we feel pretty good about digging into this and seeing what we can do to bring this boat back to life. So here's the score. The boat's mine. There are no slips available in the marina, so I'm staying on the mooring ball for the immediate future. The boat won't start. I don't know why. I haven't dug into that yet. I don't know what the bottom or the hull looks like. I've taken a quick look at the through holes. They don't look good, so that's a little sketchy. I don't know anything about the sail package, the running rigging, or the standing rigging, so we're gonna have to dig into that over the weeks to come. Let's just say this is a huge project, and I won't lie. Like, there's a lot of anxiety there, excitement and anxiety. That this is what I signed up for. I wanted to have a project boat, so here we go. I bought the boat and they handed me the keys, and I was standing at the marina office and I was looking at the boat on the mooring ball, and it just dawned on me, it's like, I have no way to get to the boat. I need a dinghy. And so I just started asking around at the marina. It's like, is anybody selling an old dinghy by any chance? And sure enough, I found a guy who sold me an old dinghy. He threw in an electric trawling motor with it, and so that has been what I've used to get back and forth to the boat, nearly, well, every day that I can be out here, which is basically weekends and nights, because I do have a day job that I have two that I have to put attention to.
This is like the Tesla of dinghies. Silent, takes forever to charge, and I got it for $100. The whole rig, $100. You're the elite class, you're the Hawk. Why spend $5,000 when you can spend $100?
The initial goal is going to be to get from here to the haul out, which is Cabrillo Boat Shop. It's about 7 miles away. So when you haul out your boat, then you're in a position to inspect the bottom, to replace through holes, things you can't get to that are normally underwater, take a look at the prop, take a look at the prop shaft, and get help from professionals who do this day in and day out. And so that basically has become like, my number one priority. What do I have to do to get this boat off the mooring ball and to Cabrillo Boat Shop? It's daunting because I don't know whether or not to trust the engine, because if I should start it and then it cuts out halfway, across the trip, we could get in a lot of trouble. This is an area that's a working harbor. We have super tankers all over the place. We have cruise ships coming in and out. We have pleasure boats. We have all different kinds of boaters around. So it's, this is not the place you want to be, adrift with engine problems. I was told that it was likely that I needed a new starter, maybe a new solenoid, that the ignition, was super rusty, there was no key, and that I'd probably need new batteries. So I decided to start with the ignition. That's cheap. Pick it up on Amazon for, I don't think it was maybe $25, maybe. Was able to install it very easily. Everything seemed to line up pretty quickly. I had no expectation that that would start the engine. So I just started like jostling the key, and I just turned it to the right, just, I don't know, just to see if maybe like I'd hear like the engine, like the solenoid click or something along those lines to indicate that something was happening. And the engine like started, and I let go real quick, and like it scared the bejesus out of me because I wasn't expecting that to happen. So I called Jillian, and she wasn't with me at the time. I was like, you got to come down here. So she hustled down to the marina, got on the boat, and I was like, look, like I think the engine is going to try to start, and I want you to be here to help me out, you know, in case we can't turn it off or to figure out what's going on. And so I cranked it over. It took about maybe 10 seconds to kind of get the fuel pulled into it, but then it just fired right up. And we let it run for maybe 30 seconds and then cut it off. I was afraid, well, I didn't want it to run if, you know, there was no water, or if there was no oil. We really weren't prepared for the engine to turn on. I hadn't done any of the checks yet. I was just excited and tried, but that was like the first big win. This is us, like right after that, we really felt like, okay, we're having a little bit of good luck. The engine started, and that was just fantastic.
Since the engine started, I knew that at a minimum, I needed to service the Racor diesel fuel filters.
I've never serviced a Racor, so I'm doing my best. But look at this. Look at all that. You can see better over here, maybe. Look at all that sediment in there. Ugh, disgusting.
I don't know when the last time this was opened, but it was really hard to get open.
There we go, yes.
Unscrew the metal top and take off the lid. And then remove the little filter itself. You might have to use a knife or something to get the little handle up to pull it out.
Okay, so we got the Racor filter out. Interesting, this is actually a 2-micron filter. Everything I read online said that I should get well, it said 30, but I think I got a 10 at West Marine. This thing is gross. By comparison, look how clean that is. Yeah, that one was cashed out.
We top it off with fresh red diesel, kind of, filling up the container near to the top, but leaving room so I can still put the filter in. And just drop the filter in. Do a little press down there. And then we're going to put a little more diesel in just to top it off, leaving a little bit of air there, just the top so we don't overflow.
All right, now last step comes with an O-ring, all right, turbine filter. There's the old one. Here. All right, get off of there. There we go. So now it's nice and clean. It doesn't have the gasket, so I'll take the new black one. All right, so I think we're ready to put those back in. Let's give it a try.
And then you just take the lid and you drop it back on. Make sure that that fresh gasket is sealed right there on the edge of the top of the filter, and screw your handle back in and make it nice and snug. Yeah, pretty much good.
First time changing the fuel filter, and not bad. On a scale of 1 to 10, in difficulty, 1 being the easiest, 10 being the hardest, I'd say this is like a 4. Wasn't totally sure about what micron rating I needed for the fuel filter. I purchased a 10, the one I took out was a 2, so I'll probably go ahead and order some 2s as well. Filter out all that nastiness. Hope this video finds its way to whoever designed this specific engine compartment. This thing sucks. There's like no side access, right? Can't get into it there, can't get it from there. And to get to there, you have to like crawl in these little hatches, and I can't get in there. I just can't get back there. See, I can't go in this way. So you have to, it makes it really difficult to turn around once you're actually in, because I can't twist. So I have to kind of bend. As you come down, you can see there's this little hole. That's my foot that you're supposed to be able to get through. And yeah, what? Who designed this? I don't know. It baffles me, like How on earth are we supposed to service the engine with these two little holes? I don't get it. I've been thinking about it, so what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm just gonna cut a hole right here and drop a new hatch in. The idea here is to come out, trace my hatch opening here, and be able to lift it open, pop down in, or at least squat down directly in front of the engine and be able to service it. It's advertised as being waterproof. I hope. I'm gonna give this a go. It seems pretty straightforward. Trace out your pattern, cut it out, and drop in the hatch with some Sikaflex and screws, and Bob's your uncle. You're done. Well, there we go. It is cut. I put a black cloth down there to catch all the sawdust, and I'll pull that up after I'm done. And I'm gonna scrub up right here on this edge. See if I can clean that up just a little bit before I put down the other hatch. Now we just gotta put the hatch in and hope I didn't wreck everything. Nah, it'll be fine. Well, crap. I thought it was doing a time lapse, but I guess it wasn't. So I put it in. You know, it went in pretty good. I put a lot of Sikaflex underneath it, and I used the self-tapping screws that, you know, I thought would go with it well. I put some extra Sikaflex around the edge and just kind of gave it a finger, you know, seal. If I'm being honest, like, you know, it's my first time doing this, and I could have very well just screwed everything up. But, you know, worth a go. It's in the right spot. We'll let it set up and we'll check it out tomorrow and see if I can actually get down and get to the engine, which is the whole goal of this. All right, so found kind of a little bit of some water. There was quite a bit of water in the bilge. The bilge pump that was there was just wrapped up in a nest of old wires, and I had a hard time figuring out like what the previous owner was doing with their bilge pump. Pulled this out of the bilge. This is like the bilge pump and the float, and literally like the casing just dissolved off the bottom, as did the hose. Just no matter. I need to replace it anyway. The bilge is super important, and I need to know that we have some new material in the bilge. This is where I pulled the bilge pump out of. You can see there's like nastiness down there. Let's see what we can pull out. We're gonna put the bilge, I don't know, what is this, the bilge tampon? The bilge, what are these things called? The bilge boom. Okay, sure. Take this, you drop it in, and this material really won't absorb water, but it will absorb oil. So I'm gonna tie a string to this. I'm gonna see if I can stuff it deep down in the bilge, let it soak, and then pull it back up again and see what we get. Disgusting. So the idea here is that the bilge tampon will only pull out oil or this oil residue and will leave behind water that is more easily disposed of. I'm at the bottom of the bilge, and I wasn't sure how deep this was, but it's grabbing stuff, I guess. Oh, that looks horrible. It's pretty foul. Now I'm cutting up some of these oil absorbent pads into smaller pieces so that I can reach down in here and kind of try to wipe up and clean up all like this oil that's splashed up on the wall and on the base where the new bilge pump will need to go. I just want to clean that up. It just looks disgusting. Gross. So my guess is, since we haven't taken on any water since we bought the boat, which is now like 3 weeks ago, all the water in the bilge was likely from those 7 atmospheric rivers that poured through California in like November, December, January.
Another brutal atmospheric river has made a steady march from the northern to the southern part of the state.
This boat sat out here for a year. Crazy rain, like rain that's coming sideways for days on end. And, you know, this boat took it like a champ. Getting the engine to start, cleaning the Racor, cleaning out the bilge, installing a new hatch. This is giving me confidence. This boat like wants to come back to life. This boat wants to go places. I can feel it. I don't think I'm, you know, being crazy.
I'm the local one. Oh.
I just have a feeling like this boat wants to go. In the next episode, we're actually going to get this boat off the mooring ball for the first time. So tune in, hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. And, you know, if you're into this idea of watching us try to bring the boat back to life, join us. I'm super excited. I've never had an adventure like this before. And hopefully we'll see you in the next episode. Wish us luck.